What is up, everyone? How are you today? It is Thursday, just another day on this wonderful planet that we live on. Today, I have a guest who's made me laugh a lot in the past couple years, especially in this last couple years. Really need to laugh, make fun of the crazy things that are out there and some of the more violent things that are out there. They tend to be kind of dark, but sometimes you need someone to just add a little commentary and it changes it completely. Welcome to the show, Steve Inman. How are you doing, Steve?
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. So cool.
Yeah. So you've been making videos commentating on pretty much any sort of not spicy, but just I don't know not I don't want to say violent. A lot of times they're violent, but also people doing stupid things, falling off stuff from being stupid. Your your commentary, you know what your commentary reminds me of? It's almost like America's Funniest Videos meets
Rated R. Right?
the rated R version with
Yeah.
with someone commentating on it ringside.
Yeah, it's just so funny how to even have 100 followers was cool,
Mhm.
so it's always been crazy. Like if I could just make a couple people laugh and leave a couple comments, I was doing that. And then on Twitter, I had a really good run. Like everything was just, the followers were like cranking in. We gathered like 50,000 followers in like 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know what was going on. It
Wow.
was so fast. Then we
When was
finally
that?
got to 84,000 like 3 months later, and that's when Trump left. And then that's when the whole Great Purge began. I'm sure you felt the effects of that too. My God.
Yeah.
And after that, I had never gone up from 84.7. It would just go 84.7, 84.8, 84.4, 84.1. And you're just like, forget this. And then you would just, but something's happening. I don't know if you feel that, Adam. Like there's like something going, somebody opened the portal. And then when it's open, you're like, all right, yeah, get all these videos out because
Yep.
they censor everything and it sucks,
Well, I stopped seeing your content for a while. You're one of the accounts that I follow, that I quite, I would share your videos. I'd comment on your videos sometimes. I always try to throw a like on there because, it was nice breaking up my timeline because my timeline on Twitter, I follow a lot of journalists, I follow a lot of politicians,
Yep.
and it could get kind of dark,
Yeah.
especially when the subject of the narrative of the moment is rather dark. So seeing one of your videos, even though it's yeah, it's someone getting punched or some sort of fight, which I mean, it's human nature. We are I don't know, ruthless animals, and it broke up my timeline, and it was quite nice. And the way that you just the way that you commentate on it is quite funny. I really do enjoy it. Have you always been a commentator? Like how did you get into this?
I was an MMA commentator. Actually, I started in radio at the age of 18. I was heavy into drugs, like, in high school, and I dropped out. I literally just said, forget high school. I hate this. I'd rather make people laugh. And if I'm going to get busted for making people laugh, I'm out of here. So obviously,
Mm,
I went to a school where I couldn't even go for 2 hours, but then I finally just got my act together. I literally checked into some Christian home and like rehab home, and I was around like all these like prisoner guys that are like serving court sentences, but they're like gave their life to Jesus, so they're gonna go, they're trying to, and a lot of these guys that came through would actually, give their life to God and stuff, so it was legit. The other guys were just playing it along, like I'm just gotta do my time.
yeah.
So that's where I really learned my lesson. Like I don't want to go to jail because I could get raped by that guy or that guy. Really taught me a lesson at 18. And so I was like, this is how you stay out of jail, is look at the people that are in jail and knowing that you can't defend yourself. So after
Yeah.
I got
Hold
my
on. Now would you be commentating while that happened or no?
no, at that time I'm commentating to God. God, please don't let this guy rape me,
Yeah.
So God was hearing all my commentaries, like, please just let me survive this. I promise I'll be good.
Yeah.
So, I did my time, and I honestly was going to become a pastor at one time. I was so hooked on,
Oh,
just,
okay.
so it's weird, but that didn't happen, obviously. And then just started,
Obviously.
yeah, I started working a regular job, and then went to, I saw a commercial. Hey, do you think you have a voice to be on the radio? And I used to always record my voice on a tape recorder for some reason when I was a kid, and that was like what I wanted. Everybody else got Nintendo. I was like, I just want a tape recorder. I want to record my sister saying bad words so I can use it against her. Blah blah blah.
Nice.
Ridiculous, right? And then I just I went to this radio school, and they told me you can't stay here unless you go get your diploma. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gone back because this was something that really interested me. And then I started doing. I went to radio school, trade school for about a year and a half, and then ended up in some AM Christian radio station. I don't know how I got there. It was in the middle of the ghetto. I remember guys were tagging out there, and so I'd have to go out and get down from there, and they'd point at their gun. They're like, what'd you say? And I'm like, nothing. Just go ahead.
Be safe.
Yes. Wait, Chaka, do your thing, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then I got on major radio in SoCal, which is like Riverside, San Bernardino area, which is I think like the 28th biggest market. So that was big time for me to be in a top 30 market radio. And then I just was a DJ. I was a morning show host for many years. Then transitioned into MMA because that was my I loved MMA, and I started filming fighters, and then I became the commentator because they realized I can do voiceover. So I became the video editor / producer, and now VP of production of an organization called King of the Cage.
Wow.
MMA organization has been around for years. So that's my daytime gig, is editing fighters, making them talk crap to each other about each other's mama, hyping up the fight.
Still.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then commentate the fights too as well. So that's the blessing. You know, it's like I have so many chores with this organization, and we've been independent for so long. And what's cool is no matter what I say, no matter what my beliefs are, the owner has always stood by me, and he doesn't realize that he's a Republican. It's really funny. He won't admit that he's Republican, he's right or left, but and he's totally atheist, which is crazy, you know. So he's just one of those guys that just has common sense.
Yeah.
You know, and he really, and he's a business owner, so he was affected by the whole COVID thing. That we would have never been stopped if it wasn't for this scandemic, man. If that thing never hit, we would have still been rolling, but you know, we had to size down on the shows. Now we're getting back in motion, so we're having about 2 shows a month, which normally we would have 4 shows a month, sometimes 2 on the same day in 2 different states. We're like the McDonald's of MMA.
Wow.
And King of the Cage is like seen so many fighters go out there, like Uriah Faber, Rampage Jackson. So I've seen these fighters and commentated them cage side before they became the big time. And cool. I take pride in that because I'm like, I was there watching these guys fight. And then when I see him on TV and go, oh, Rampage, I'm like, yeah, he's not that mean. He's a really nice guy. These guys are the kindest guys in the world because they know they can beat anybody's ass, so they have nothing to prove, you know. And
good point.
Yeah, so nice. You're like, you fight in the cage? That's crazy. So yeah, I've been fortunate to be in MMA after all these years. And so when the pandemic hit, I said, you know what, I'm gonna start commentating bugs, and I just started using the video production at home, and I don't know what happened after that. It was just a lot of Patriots were coming in, and it was fun. And then the shadow ban began.
Well, I think it was your heavy usage of Andy Tifa or Aunt Tifa.
Yeah.
What is it? What do you?
Yeah, Andy and Brandy Tifa. They're
Andy and Brandy, right?
Yeah, they saw those videos, and I realized they didn't like it. But I was like, I don't care if you shadow ban me. I'm still gonna do it because it's America. And I expect the left to have just as many rights as the right does when it comes to free speech, but obviously they don't think the other way around. And that sucks. You know, it kind of leaves us in a predicament, you know, because we're true, you know, protectors of, you know, freedom of speech. And I have to be. I've done radio where, you know, I've had to been under the control where they say, don't ever talk about politics. You'll be fired. Don't ever talk about this. So I've always been in a controlled environment. And so getting to do this is, I hate to sound like a liberal, but I feel so free.
Well, no, that's classic liberal, though, you know, being free. These liberals nowadays, I don't know if you were paying attention to the Project Veritas drop yesterday about Twitter.
Yeah.
I talked about it on my show, but they're admitting that they don't want our side of the aisle to have free speech. It's not free speech. And then, man, there's this whole news run. MSNBC and all these different news corporations are doing this thing where they're equating free speech and white supremacy, and they're like constantly putting those in the same sentence over and over and over again, trying to really drive it home into their base that freedom of speech is white supremacy. As soon as they have free speech, you know, boom, all of a sudden white supremacy is going to take off. They really believe that we're just like you said, you were told not to talk politics, so you were keeping you were self-censoring a little bit.
Yeah.
These people really believe that everyone on the right side is self-censoring their white supremacy. Like, they want to be out and bold about it, and they don't even realize that, like, we don't like white supremacists either. White supremacists are assholes.
Yeah.
Any sort of supremacist, you're an asshole. Like, no.
I mean, all the white supremacists, even if they're already out there saying their shit anyways and getting banned. You know, we all know that, hey, you know, you have freedom of speech, but you also have consequences. And, you know, throwing the N-word around and calling Asian people this and Asian slurs and all that, yeah, that's totally unacceptable. And I get that. And there's people out there that'll fight me on that and say, I should have the right to say that. I was like, yeah, you do, but you're an a-hole for saying.
Yeah, you do have the right to say. Yeah, but that's the thing.
You're a jerk. Yeah,
they do have the right to say that. Yeah. That's fine. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, but see what happens.
But see what happens. Be ready for the majority of the internet to go, we found an asshole. Yeah, ratio incoming. You know, that's what they do. People do that.
And the sick thing is every time I've ever gotten hate or anybody's been racist with me, it's always the left, because I can always go see their page and there's the blue wave, resist, Trump, anti-Trump, all this. So you totally know they're a lib. But when you're calling me a white supremacist, and I'm a full-blooded American, like, first and foremost, but I'm half Korean, half white, you know, that's was born that way here. But you know, to sit there and call me a white supremacist when I grew up with Korean culture all around me. In fact, the funniest thing is this, like, I grew up around more Korean people than I did, you know, white people, you know, when I was going to school and all that. But a lot of racism came from minorities. It never came from a specific white group. It was like, oh, there's little Chinaman or Bruce Lee. And back then I took that as an insult. Nowadays I'd be like, cool, I love Bruce Lee. He's badass. But back then, like, as a kid, it's difficult. You're like, you know what? And that's the kind of racism I dealt with. But I didn't grow up to think that every person of those minorities were the racists. I never even thought that. I just thought those guys were particular a-holes. I'm sorry. Yeah. You don't associate yourself with those people, you know? And so that was the 80s, you know. I'm showing my age now, but, you know, growing up in the 80s in elementary, it was like, you know, and this is in a private school. I was dealing with this. So
wow, you can imagine.
Yeah, a Christian school. Yeah, and I'm Christian to this day. You know, I'll be open about it. I may not be the best Christian. I cuss a lot, all that, but you know what? It's different times, and you know what? The message has to get out to the streets one way or another. And you know what? If you're not speaking the lingo, then you're really not doing the real work that you're supposed to do when you come down here. And so that's what it is. It's like, if you can't speak the lingo, if you can't try and talk to a drug addict and you've never done drugs yourself, you are going to come off as so pompous that you have never even dealt with that. Let people deal with different departments. If you're better with dealing with an older crowd, great. I'm used to dealing with a crowd that's just sick of everything, you know, and I feel that. That's why I do this, because it's not just for people. It's like, it helps me vent, you know, and I appreciate the laughs that I get. That's such a bonus. And so I keep doing it. And you know, I have time, you know, and I used to smoke cigarettes. Like, I just quit literally 2 years ago when I started this. Good for you. Yeah, thank you, man. 20 years, I couldn't kick it, man, you know, and I was very tough, you know. And then so finally, I started yelling at these videos. I go, hey, that felt good. And I guess I just go and yell at videos, and my kids walk by and go, are you okay? Oh, you're doing a commentary, Dad. Okay, you're not okay. You haven't lost it yet. I said, I've lost it, but in other ways, son, you know. But
I've got focus now. At least. Focus. That's good.
Sorry, I'm just ranting on, man.
I love it. I love this. This is what I want. You know, my show, especially when I'm doing interviews, it's all about understanding who a person is. You know, and you're really this is what I wanted to hear from you. You know, I wanted to hear who you are and what your reasoning is. And I get it. I feel like a lot of people who watch my show are fed up with life, or not life, but the people that are controlling said life, you know, me, especially me. I am so sick of it. I can't stand these people that are using emotions, not rational thought, not logic, not, you know, reality, that they're living in their own utopian universe that is so far-fetched and doesn't make any sense on a normal base level. And that's where all the corporations are like, yeah, well, let's go with that, because clearly they're the ones who get the most upset. People aren't getting upset enough.
I don't understand the hypocrisy. I mean, the hypocrisy is obviously right there in the front of all of us to see, like, easily, and they don't really care. But the funny thing is, all these anti-capitalists complaining about this crap on Twitter, complaining about it on these capitalist platforms. Like what? I don't understand it. And it's like you, and then you call them out. They call you racist. You're like, I'm Asian. Well, then you're an Asian supremacist. You're an Asian Uncle Tom. Like,
Internalized
yeah.
whiteness. You have
Oh God, yeah.
internalized whiteness.
Terrible, man. It makes me so mad. But like I said, it's like a never ending argument. And I just feel like this is a good way for me to vent and people can hear my words. And I just feel like anybody can do what I do, honestly. So
No,
like,
no, no,
I feel
no.
fortunate, man, that anybody would follow me. Honestly, dude, it's like that's how I feel inside. So
Well, that's good. I
yeah,
think
I
more people need to have that feeling in there. I just need to say you're absolutely wrong. I've
because I think it's yelling. I'm like, I'm yelling, bah, 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 bah. Controlled yelling, I guess.
No, no, the way that you commentate it, then you add the replay, you got
Yeah.
your
We need to
music
update that
tracks.
graphic, by the way, too, man. That's an old replay graphic. We need
No,
to
it's
update that.
good. It's classic. No,
Yeah.
there's something, nostalgia vibes can be good and they can be bad, Nostalgia can be used to grift off of people to try to sell them like He-Man, the new
Yeah.
Star Wars, like there's countless examples of people using nostalgia bait. But there's something about that replay vibe that reminds me of like old school MMA where,
Love
it's
it.
I don't know. It's as I said,
That's
American Home
exactly it.
Video, but I
It's
don't know.
totally that is exactly it, man. I appreciate you even describing that because I've never hear these parts where people are like it's like that, and that's exactly the whole look I was going for. Because I'm MMA commentator, so
Mhm.
these are graphics that I've used in the past that I've created for MMA. So like when I'm editing as a video editor to these shows, I'm creating all these graphics, the replays. So I've been doing that for years, and it's funny when I watch graphics, I get excited on TV shows, and people are like, "What are you talking about? That just generates itself." I'm like, "No, the guy did a good job on that lower third. My God, so much effort."
True.
And you know how it is dealing with a podcast. You got lower thirds and graphics, and so I love doing that
I
stuff.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The little graphics that come at down, say your name, and
I'm not a professional here. I just I'm still
but
figuring it out.
you see where your name is. They actually put that in for you. But like I would make those. What I would do for King of the Cage is when the fighters walk out, you see those graphics, their MMA record, and it's shiny.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I do, and it's so
Cool.
nerdy. But I pound a lot of energy drinks, and then I'm like, okay, let's do it. So it's always something different at this Inman residence. It's very strange, very odd.
Uh, so what? Well, first off, what kind of energy drinks? What was your preferred?
You know
What's your
what? I
go-to?
like Bang because they are a patriotic company, so I try and support them as much as possible.
Respect.
Rockstar if I'm desperate because the grocery delivery system out here is kind of whack.
Okay.
Like I'm not driving all the way downtown for a Rockstar,
Yeah.
but yeah, but Bang, I try and support them because they're patriotic. So.
I don't know Bang. I don't know that. I don't drink energy. I drink a specific coffee from this company
So-
that I really like.
oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm a
It's
coffee drinker though. I start with coffee.
yeah.
Then I go to energy drink. I'm like ultra caffeinatic. I mean, I'm just go
Oh,
for coffee, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready for that Rockstar or energy drink. And
what kind
I'm
of coffee you like?
uh,
What's your preferred? Light,
I,
dark, medium?
I like dark some days, and then a little bit of cream, no sugar though. I don't do any sugar, just a little cream to make it go down my stomach a little easier, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
cream, but it's smooth, and then other days I feel like a Marlboro man, so I'm like, I'm gonna go black.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be rugged cowboy today, cowboy coffee. Woo!
Well, I got to send you a bag. I actually have my own coffee company. It's
Oh,
Crigler
no way,
Coffee. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and
dude! You have no
it's
idea.
delicious.
Me and my wife drink coffee all day. I've got my kids trained to make me coffee now. So
Nice.
yeah,
I,
like I was so
I'm
happy he
I'm
could mow the
taking
lawn.
note of that. I don't
Yeah,
have kids
no,
yet, but
it's yeah. He's my
it's
daughter's
in there.
9
Okay.
and he's 11. So I'm like, you make me coffee, and they love it. They'll hate it eventually. They'll hate doing it. Realize
But
I'm
for now, I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah.
gotta
They
use
don't
it.
know. Yeah. I love making you coffee. I said, I love you making me coffee too. Such a pain to make coffee. Yeah.
Yes, you love it exactly.
Most parents are excited when their kids play catch for the first time. I was like, coffee's great for me, man. That just makes me happy. It just brings a joy inside my soul that is just unexplainable, I guess, for me.
Y- even just talking to you right now, from all of your videos that I've seen, you have an inherent light about you. You kind of shine in your positivity, and I really am attracted to positive energy, and I feel that from your videos. So like even though it's like violence, even though it's like someone getting punched, there's like a happiness to your commentating, and
Thanks.
and that makes it that really cuts the energy
The
from it.
negativity, right?
Yeah, from the negative. You're watching it and you're like, man, like but it makes you realize like, wow, these are crazy people, like damn, like, but because the commentation is funny, and it forces you to not be like, wow, black pill these people, like look at these terrible people in the world. I
I'm
can only
grateful for minds like yours, man, because like, I when I'm making these videos, I'm hoping people are seeing it like that because I've had Karens come around and can I speak
I'm
to your
sure.
page manager? No, get the hell out of here, Karen. I don't want to talk to you.
I'm the
There's
page
I'm the
manager.
page manager, mind blown, so it just makes me mad when they complain. They're like, you are condoning violence, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, look, I'm not. What I'm doing is posting videos so people don't make these same idiotic mistakes. When I tell my kids, I
There
actually
it
had
is.
a couple people tell me that you're going to end up in one of these Inman videos. And that like was my most proudest moment. Like that is so cool that I'm used in somebody's punishment now with their kids, you
That's
know,
awesome.
I was like, yes, we did it. Uh, but that's really what it's all about. It's never glorifying the violence. And the only time I ever am like supporting it is when some jerk is robbing a family and he gets run over. I'm sorry, but seeing a guy get run over after sticking a family up when I've got a family of my own, it's very gratifying. And you know what? I don't care what anybody says because a lot of the people feel the same way. So you know what? As I would say in my a lot of my comments, kiss my egg roll. Okay, it's just
Yeah.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of instant gratification. I
yeah,
think earning your keep is always
yeah,
better.
yeah.
But in those rare videos
Yeah.
that you've posted, that is someone doing exactly that and then getting served immediately. It's just like,
Yes, and that's where the
well,
fine line is where people don't realize it's like it's justice being served like a cup of noodles, and that's why
yep,
I'll always say that so they get the fact that it's like, don't do this. You grow up, you're gonna be just like corn-fed Ted. You're gonna be
yeah.
doing some time, and you're gonna end up sleeping with him, and then he's become your Bubba cellmate, whatever. So don't
and
end up in one
and
of my
it
videos.
and it happens so fast too.
Yeah.
You're like bam, 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 and it's like, wow. It
I
reminds
really
me of.
I
Go
try
ahead.
to not give myself a second chance because I like to just do it on the fly, and that's what I've done with MMA. You don't really get a
Interesting,
chance to re-edit yourself,
because
so
it's live.
yeah, because it's live, and then and sometimes I'll go back and go, I don't like the way that sounded very fruity or whatever. But then I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just like, I got to take this back a little bit and make it a little authoritative. But that's the thing is I'll always try to watch it and do it in one because that's where the words start coming out on accident. That's why I'll be like fruit gravy or saying weird things like, well, what the hell, where did that come from? And then I'll be like, oh, that's a wrap. I just walk away. So
That's good. That's interesting.
yeah.
And I found that the best reactions are when you watch it the first time. When you watch it the second time, it's you know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something I wanted to ask you about. That's interesting. So most of your videos, it's the first time you're seeing the video.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people will catch things afterwards. You'll see that people like, you didn't see that one guy right here. Well, first of all, I didn't have enough time to say that. Secondly, no, I didn't because I just watched it real quick. You know what I mean? It's really hard to see on a little, when you have your headphone hooked up, you're trying to do it all
Right.
right. But I don't really like the professional videos I actually do for King of the Cage and all that commercials and stuff are so completely different from this because it's like I really just like to make it effortless to go in there and that way I can produce as many videos as I
Yeah.
can. And so like I don't really I look the professional self side of me looks at me and go, you amateur piece of but your voice should be recorded better. You know better than that. It's craggly, but you know what? I think that's the idea behind it. People like to see these crappy ass videos shot with a potato and
No,
then
it's
hear a
not
little bit
crappy.
of voice.
You know what the vibe I get from it is authentic. It's it's like it's someone who's a good commentator who is watching a video commentating.
Yeah.
So if it's for the first time, how do you source your videos? Like, where do you get this stuff?
A lot of the time at first I started some social media pages back in the day. I would start like random ones like Karma, instant karma, or I hate when that happens. So I was always experimenting and seeing what videos are doing. And then I met some admins out there on other pages, and they were like, we all kind of teamed up, and we were all helping each other. You share this, I'll share that, blah, blah, blah. So I was just getting the basic run of social media. And this was like 5 years ago, right before we were doing the insects, Ultimate Insect Championships.
Yeah.
Just before all that. But like, it's crazy because when you're doing all this and you're trying to learn how algorithms work, I mean, that's when it all boils down to it. It's like, it's just, I like the videos, you search for them, and then you create this community, and then the community starts sending them to you. So now it's just people sending me links all day. Hey, you got to do this one. And it's great. I mean, sometimes you get the same link of the same video I've done a million times. I'm like, dude, I've posted it a million times. You haven't seen it yet? And you're kind of like, well, they probably haven't, because I've been shadow banned. And that's when I started realizing a lot of people keep sending the guy slamming his the guy with a helmet into the pink foot. Right. And they keep sending me that one. I'm like, dude, that one is so old that I had to redo it. I kept getting sent to me. I was like, I'll re-commentate it. Let's update. Let's freshen it up. And so that's probably the only time I've actually redone a video, because it's been requested so many times. I'm like, my voice sounds younger there too. So maybe we should update this.
Yeah, freshen it up a little bit.
Yeah,
So you mentioned shadow banned. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not sure if I was saying this before we went live, or if we talked about this. I hadn't seen your videos for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's a few people that I follow that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I was shocked as soon as Elon, the whole Elon deal came about. I started seeing your videos, and one of the first posts I saw of yours was you saying, "Holy crap, like, what is going on? I'm getting views on my videos again. Like, thanks." Just to let everyone know, thanks for watching my stuff. You're very appreciative. Great attitude about it. Instead of being angry, you were like just pushing gratefulness out there. And I'm like, I haven't seen his videos in forever. I used to watch them all the time. I used to share them. I used to comment on them. Like, they're great. And then boom, all of a sudden I started seeing your videos, and I'm like, it's so true. I have absolutely noticed a significant change in the algorithms on Twitter. Not YouTube. YouTube is still fully in the grasp of the woke narrative, because my show is I don't want to dwell on it, but I actually know somebody who went to school for internet analytics. So he understands and has looked at it, and he's like, yeah, this is not right. There's something wrong here.
It's a real thing.
Oh yeah, very much so.
It's always something we thought behind our head, but now it's being exposed so much more, which I'm grateful for, because the only people that were actually keeping the page alive are the people that hit the bell or the notification. So anytime I posted a video, there was always that random 300 people, but 300 was way far off from like getting 5,000 or 6,000. And the retweets were way massive, before. And then it dwindled down to like 100. And it was just like, okay, something is just off. Either my material sucks now, everybody's outgrown me. And that was a hard thing to accept. I was like, okay, well, maybe just got to move on, do something else, which is probably what their plan was from the beginning, is to shut people down and make you feel like nobody cares about your stuff. And I don't want to be like a sobbing snowflake, like I was, crying, nobody's following me. It was more like, it's a questionable thing in your mind. Like, am I putting out the right material? And so it really is a cluster mind F, you know what I mean? Like, they were totally screwing with you. And like you said, you weren't the first person to say that. So when I started hearing 10, 20 people saying the same story, I go, now's the time to tweet. And it's like the portal opened, and I was tweeting, and every video was getting like 4,000 views, like literally in 20 minutes. That is ridiculous, because being shadow banned, it would probably be at 400 or 500 views at that point, which is still okay, but not for what I knew my page had. And so that's why it's been opening and closing. That's what I see. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's opening and closing. And when I see it open, I'm like, just tweet, because I just hope Elon takes over, man, because those commies and all the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, that it just totally solidifies what we've all known, but couldn't really address or say, because people will be like, you're just bitter, man. You're not getting any more.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, you're a racist. You're a white supremacist Asian. You know what I mean?
such a weird statement.
It really is.
But they believe it. But this whole Twitter expose, or the Twitter executive, I mean, everyone's focusing on the fact that he was making fun of Elon for Asperger's, which in itself is fucked up. But
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
you know, the fact that they were talking about, we don't care about making money. It's about pushing our ideology and getting rid of people who we don't deem correct.
Scary.
Now enter Google, who owns YouTube, and who knows how many other things they have their strings attached to on the internet. According to Zach Voorhees, who was a whistleblower for with Project Veritas back in 2019, who worked at Google for 8 years, he told me about how their algorithms, they went full on anti-Trump to try to keep Trump from getting elected in 2016. And then it's only gotten worse since that point. So if we're looking at just Twitter, comparatively to Twitter's nothing compared to Google. Like Google is so much bigger than Twitter. And we know that Google has the same kind of mentality of, if what is correct to them, what is morally superior in their minds is not Republican, is not right-leaning, is not conservatism, it's not any of these things. Like even capitalism is, to them, is bad, and they're self-admitting being commies. They admit it, that they're a bunch of commies. They like that. They want anyone who doesn't agree with them out of the platform. And that was so, like, now I'm mixing and matching. I'm like, look at Twitter. Now just imagine what Google did, because Google went and made an algorithm / AI or not just an algorithm, an AI system based on that ideology. So you can imagine how YouTube treats people like me, for example, on getting my views. You know, it's like, not that
YouTube's tough, man. Their
I
censorship
know.
is so tough.
Oh,
I
I
can't even
I
post
agree.
anything on YouTube, honestly. Anything I post will be deemed, oh, you broke it. We don't know why to tell, we don't know what to tell you or how you broke the rules, but you broke the rules. And I'm like,
Yep.
it's a kid playing with a shovel. What the hell is wrong with this? But they will say, if you were child endangerment, the kid's fighting a shovel. I'm like, really? That's child endangerment? Oh my God.
Did
Yeah.
that actually happen?
Yeah, you know that kid that I have a shovel video where the kid's like, playing the video, and it's very happy. It's become one of my most favorite videos because the kids can watch it and with their parents. It's the one of few videos I don't think I'm really cussing that much. So, I see this and I'm just like, are you serious? But it's because of, like, I'll post my OAN videos up there, like when I go on OAN, Tipping Point, and stuff like that. They don't like that stuff. And so I see that they're attacking me in other ways. And it's just like, yeah, right. Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
You can totally see the bias. And so I'm just like, I kind of just post more rated PG on YouTube. Twitter's a little, I got to say, as much as Twitter is bad, they allow me to post stuff I couldn't post on Facebook, like these videos and stuff. And they would take that down immediately on Facebook. So Facebook, I have a page that they've shadow banned. I've got literally probably 225,000 followers that are genuine followers. Okay. But we have a video on there. It's got like 12 million views, over 172,000 likes, 170, like, it's ridiculous. Right. And so we were bringing in all kinds of people, and literally we went from 45 to 210 within a month when the shadow ban was up. Then you post one video about Joe Biden or whatever, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, I'm not seeing your videos in my timeline again. And then now those likes have dropped all the way down to like 100 and like 24 hours. That's so unheard of. And that's why I'm like, I'm just going to take a break on Facebook until maybe something resets. But
well, Zuckerberg uses his Zuckerbucks to push the narrative or shift certain things from happening. That's the extent I'm going to say, because I've gotten strikes on my channel for mentioning a certain jab and talking about it, and then also talking about a certain election, and calling out stuff about it. I don't want to dwell on the details because that's what gets me striked.
Propaganda pixie sticks is what we'll call them. Propaganda pixie sticks.
There we go. Yeah, I love ripping the pixie sticks and just letting the sugar fly into the wind. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to expose the sugar to the air, and that's the best disinfectant.
And the libs can sniff it if they want, because they're all about that.
If they want, it's in an IV straight into their veins.
Yeah.
Voluntarily, they want it. More, please. More, please.
It's amazing when it comes down to like any disagreements. It's like, when you think about the right and the right is all about freedom for all, and the left's like freedom for few. And that's
Right.
what it's all boiled. And that I don't understand that concept, like freedom of few. I don't even care if it was all Republican and Democrats had to agree with everything I believed in. I don't want that, because that just means one day it's going to flip around and be the other way. So you shouldn't want that. But
Right.
then you're dealing with a bunch of idiots that like believe, Miley Cyrus and all these virtue signaling clowns, like Taylor Swift, who's a sellout as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know who. I don't even know any of her songs. I just know her face is around, and then she gets caught up saying things. I'm like, I just hate hearing uneducated people who don't
She
even
just
know.
said. She
Yeah,
said the other. I saw someone making fun of Taylor Swift yesterday. Excuse me. And she was talking to like some university graduation class or something, and she said something along the lines. I don't remember verbatim what she said, but it was something along the lines of, "We have to learn to live with cringe. You got to look back at yourself and realize that there will always be moments in your life where there was cringe that happened, and you just have to understand your cringe." And blah blah blah. And she said cringe like 3 more times, and it's just like, wow.
and her to speak about that is
Oh,
she's cringe every day, so she should.
projection,
Yeah,
projection much.
yeah. Oh,
They're
weirdo.
really good at confessing with projection, the
Well,
left. I
the
mean,
one good thing about this whole Twitter, when the portal opens, like we were talking about with this whole Elon Musk, I don't know
yeah.
what it is, maybe fearful people, but the one beneficial thing that I've seen for people like you and me who are, trying to build a name on this and get the fight so we can get the word and get the platform that we need to speak.
Mhm.
But you see these celebrities all of a sudden, like Kim Jong, who's a full-fledged liberal. Obviously, we saw how he broke down with Mayor Giuliani when he showed up on the Masked Singer. He was like, "I can't do this. Oh my God!" Walked out like a Karen. It was disturbing. And Jenny McCarthy's just like, "Woo!" Has no idea. But when I see Ken Jeong's post and realizing, I'm going to just say this right now: the entire Korean community pretty much does not like Ken Jeong. Man, he's a complete like idiot.
Really?
Dude, he can't even do the accent right. So a lot of my Korean friends are like, "Dude, you can't even do the accent right. If you're going to do it right." You know what I mean? That's not even authentic. You stupid idiot. And then when I'm seeing this guy tweet and stuff, he's only getting 10 likes or 20 likes. That's really bad for a celebrity with that many followers. And then you just realize the bots are getting shifted out because
They're all fake. Yep.
they don't,
Well,
they don't
the audit system proved that
yeah.
half of
Yeah.
Joe Biden's followers are fake, are
Oh yeah.
bots.
Like
Eleven
all the
million.
celebrities, like Jenny McCarthy, even like I'm just going through regular celebs that you see on TV. I do my
Yeah.
own research in that way, and I'm looking at Jenny McCarthy, and she's supposed to be like this model chick from the '90s. So anytime she posted pictures, she should get a lot of likes, regardless, right? She'll only get like 800, and that's very miserable for having 2 million followers. It's
Wow.
ridiculous. But then when you go to someone like Gina Carano, who is actually a true what you call about feminist, she is a true feminist, and that's why Hollywood doesn't like her. But when you go to her page, she's got nothing but love because she's a real person. And
Authenticity. People on the internet are starving
yeah,
for authenticity. Not on the internet. People in general, I
yeah,
should say, because people in general are who use the internet. They're the ones who are seeing fake bullshit and going,
yeah,
you're clearly trying to grift off of this, or you're clearly trying to portray yourself as something other than what you are. It's like,
yeah,
and you know what? As someone who doesn't do that, how from just talking to you now, this is the first time we've actually like had a conversation. From knowing your videos and hearing you talk right now, you feel like you're the exact same. How exhausting would that be?
yeah.
Wouldn't that be exhausting? My goodness.
Oh, it's like you got to play up the part every
Oh,
time, and you got to cover all your lies. And to me,
no.
how does that make you feel good when you see somebody just writing the same comment? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Oh wait, you're hot. You're beautiful. Like, how does that make you feel good when you know they're not even real people? Like, to me, seeing the genuine, like you say, genuine. When I see
Mhm.
genuine comments, that's what I'm searching for on my end, and seeing the
Yeah.
comments where I can improve. Who's really just a hater? Who's just really hating? And then the true people who honestly give you constructive criticism, and you can tell there's no hate behind it. But when I sense any type of hate and someone's just talking, s crap or
Yeah.
whatever, you're
You
blocked.
could swear
Okay,
unless
okay.
I
I
just
did
want to.
pretty good, huh? I've done pretty good for my
Yeah,
time.
and I was like, yeah, you can." I used to not swear on my show. I used to be kind of a stickler about it, but then I realized it was kind of residual from being on the Tim show, and like really, it's not me. And I'm like, you know what? I swear, I want to be authentic, just like
Yeah,
what we're talking about right now. It's like
dude.
it's who I am. I do swear in swearing. You know, I there was a little part of me because I taught skateboarding for a while, and I usually taught from like 5 to 10-year-old kids, and so you don't swear like do this
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
kickflip,
You're like in
it's like
church,
no,
man,
yeah, it's like so there is a part of me that I have a filter, but I don't want this to be a show for kids. I talk politics. I talk, you know, the things that I'm talking about. If people want to learn, or if people learn from it, maybe you could teach your kids stuff. I'm not trying to say that I'm some sort of guru or something. I'm just a human being with opinions on stuff. Um, but I don't know. Being authentic is so important to me. I would not want to do the show otherwise. Like
Yeah,
if I couldn't be myself, I mean, and some days I'm emotional, some days I'm down, but I talk about it.
yeah,
Because like, hey, I'm not feeling right today. I had my friend Eliza on the show, and I was like, I was really getting blackpilled by the news because it was just a really rough time for me. And she was like, maybe you're depressed. Maybe you need to take it, like you need to like check yourself. And I was like, "Oh, shit, I do. And then we talked about it. And then I felt so much better after
you
that.
have to. And that's the thing too, as I believe, and I'll mark my date where the good guy actually died. All right, not the good guy, but the polite guy. Let's say, 2016. I had a lot, just my friends and my followers on Facebook, and they were all church people, and I was
Okay.
always having to act nice, and I'm like, you know what? Who am I kidding? This is not how I am, and if you want to cuss, cuss. Don't cuss just to cuss. But if it
Right.
makes you feel better on specific words, there's some words that I think fucking hot pocket. It just sounds funny, when I'm talking. I don't do it because I'm like, I just have to cuss, It's like sometimes it emphasizes it. And I know
Yeah.
some people out there will be like, oh, only stupid people cuss because they have nothing better to say. I said, well, you don't understand comedy then, because that's been used for years. But
Right.
like to that, I was just tired of it because I grew up in the church. I got my pastor as a friend and all this, and then I just realized, wait a second, they talk like this too. They don't act like in the church. Obviously, he's rated G, but we
Yeah.
don't know their lives behind the scenes. So to me, I think 2016 is when I just finally let go, and that's when I started doing the commentary. And I said, I don't care what people think. If they're gonna hate me, they're gonna realize that this is what I was meant to do, and I feel like it's meant for me to do. Wherever it's taking me, I don't really know yet, but I just know that it's taking me to places. Getting to go on War Room, be in interviews with you guys
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that has brought great opportunities and networking. And even on Truth Social, I just started there because now you can use it with your web browser. You don't need Android. So I was like, I wasn't going to do it till they did that because I don't want half of America,
Right.
not being able to. So now it's legit. And I went on there, and Devin Nunez found me, and he has just been retweeting my stuff like crazy. I just want to thank him. You can't send messages on there. You could tweet to each other. So this is the first video I can actually say thank you to the guy.
Nice.
He made my page explode. I just started less than 48 hours ago, and now have I think 31,000 followers. It just blew up, and that's where I started to see the real shadow banning going on. Like, dude, this is where I should be if I was at 30,000 on Twitter.
Right.
This is where I should be, and a lot of people are getting affected by that, and I feel bad for them. But if you are going through that, anybody out there, just know that it's not because people don't like your stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up, because I almost fell into that mentality. It's crap. It's garbage. Just realize you feel proud that they're trying to shadow ban you, but realize that day may come to an end. If this acquisition goes through perfect, I can see what's going to happen, because we've seen the portal open and we're like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I've never felt this in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it came back again over the weekend. It's like these little tremors that we're feeling, but it's just a sign of people scrambling around going, oh, I got to go get my donut. I got to go hide these files over here. Okay. Oh God, I got to go shadow ban Inman once again, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll have a video take off in the first 20 minutes and then they cut it down. And then I see
Yep.
this. I'm
Whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah,
We gotta
yeah,
keep that video in check.
yeah. And
Mm-mm.
when somebody takes their hand off the throttle, I'll see literally 8,000 views in 40 minutes, and that's just where my page should be at. But they cut it down to this 3 2000 bracket, and it's like I just want to get these videos out so people laugh, and that's all I hear is if I'm making you laugh and I keep hearing that, then I'm going to continue to believe it and continue to make better stuff. I don't want to keep saying the same things over. So now we're going through videos and like, let's create a whole new list of things to say. Let's take it to a whole nother generation. And now, like I said, the one thing I like about Truth Social is if I'm on Facebook and I post two dudes fighting, you're never going to see the CEO like Mark Zuckerberg share that. Okay. It's just not going to see that happen. You're going to get busted. You're going to be on a 7-day ban, and then you're going to have to read the regulations and all that crap. But you got the CEO of Truth sharing these brawl videos, dudes getting ran over in buses. And I'm like, this is so cool because I've always wanted a platform where I could just post stuff and don't bother me, whether it's political sometimes, even a video of someone just falling down, I would get popped for. Like, it's like, dude, there's nothing political. The guy fell on his ass because he fell over a candy cane, whatever the hell it was.
Right.
Why are you bugging me? And so now it's cool to be at a place where I know it's not going to get taken down because the CEO is basically retruthing it, is what I should call it.
Yeah, it's retruthing it. Yeah, I like that.
Retruthing it. So I'm thankful for them. And it's not that I'm trying to sell these guys. I have no deal with Truth Social. I just never seen good people like that come around. Like, people like you are awesome, man, because you come in and retweet stuff, and I need that help, but not everybody's like you, Adam. Okay. Not everybody's like, Dan Bongino and all these other guys that have always supported, and always retweet my stuff, but they can't retweet my stuff if they don't see my stuff. And I always thought, okay, I'm shadow banned, but that people can still go to my page. Yeah, that's great and all, but I can't expect people to remember me every single day. That's selfish on my part. So then I realized it is the timeline. Once they pull you out of that, the news feed, it's a solid reminder that not to remind that person, and that's exactly what they're doing. And then people will be like, and people on Truth Social have been like, dude, I haven't seen you in 2 years since I left. I got banned off Twitter. So it's like it's almost like everybody's reuniting on that end. So I don't know if you've started an account, but I would love to see you over there, man. I'll be your first follower, dude.
Thank you.
Sure you have thousands of followers after that, man. But
I do have I did sign up when it first came around, but then
there was a waiting list, right?
I couldn't log in for like months. So I honestly, I haven't tried since. I just
go on the web browser and try it out. And it was pretty quick this time. I think they got all the kinks out because before people were like, I never got the confirmation email. And I literally just waited 4 minutes. It finally came over. But the web browser, I was like, okay, I'm in now. I'm not going to go get an iPhone. I'm sorry. I'm just anti-iPhone. I need every video format available to play on my phone. So that's why I go with Android, I just as an editor.
Well, I have an Apple phone still, but I've had this phone for 6 years, and I'm not one to go get a new phone every year.
Well, it's hard to switch from Apple to Google because all your stuff's on there, and that's I had to break off like 8 years ago because I was so Apple. But what they do is they get you stuck on both sides where you're like, I don't want to give up my goods,
Oh no, I can't wait to get rid of it. I'm only, but you didn't let me finish. The only reason I'm not getting a new phone is because it still works.
Yeah.
When this thing dies, I've replaced all of my Apple products. I have no more Apple products. I used to have a Mac computer. I used to have a Mac Mini. I don't remember what else I had. I had an iPad for a little while, but that broke, and I never really used it anyway. But this is my last Apple product, and after this dies, I will forever be done with Apple for the rest of my life,
man, because it's so much cheaper too. A lot of these things, like it's having to break free is really hard because you're like when I had my iPhone, I had it for years, and I'm like, I don't want to transfer shit.
Got to relearn everything. No, I don't mind. I'll just use it as a storage device. If it dies, it dies. Like, I don't even care. I do have thousands of photos on it over the past 7 years. I should probably download them onto my computer so I can have them. But I just, I was a model for 12 years. That was my main profession for my younger adult life. And what I learned most about it is how much waste that goes into capitalism, selling products. The things that they don't sell, they just trash. They make the new product. It's all about selling the new product. So a lot of times, obviously it was clothes that I saw, but I learned that part of the industry, and it was disgusting. It really tainted the job that I was doing, and I felt absolutely no purpose. So it was kind of like me realizing selling stuff is good. It's important, but it should be something that you need.
Yeah.
Something that gives someone, like selling people some cheap pieces of plastic. I don't have anything near me that I don't have any of that stuff because I don't like it. Honestly, even this UFO. Don't get me wrong. I love the UFO. I'm not chat. Don't get mad at me. This UFO. I made fun of Tim for weeks because he bought this thing. Every single, but it was an Instagram ad of a product, and Tim had this thing where he would buy all the Instagram stuff. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Yeah, of course. The algorithm's telling you because they know you like cool knickknacks and things. He's got so much of that stuff. And I would always make fun of him. Like, bro, you're a sucker. Anyone who buys the stuff from Instagram ads are suckers. They got you. The algorithm got you to buy something. Every time I see an ad on Instagram, if for when I actually look on Instagram, I instantly report it.
Yeah.
I report it. Well, why? Because I don't like seeing ads. That's why. They're like, oh, shit. All right.
If it's something
we won't sell this again.
Yeah, if it's something I'm remotely interested in too, I'll look at it on Amazon or other places to see the reviews and be like, this is cheap crap. And you'd be like, okay, exactly what I thought. Bye.
It's always cheap crap.
It is. It's always like
that.
It's supposed to make your life easier. You can slice potatoes within a second. And then all of a sudden you're like, what the hell is this? This is slicing my hand. No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
I am grateful for this UFO though. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to spin it. I'm going to spin it just because I feel, look, this is a piece of artwork that a fan made me. They made that for me. That was the original name of my show, Atomcast.
That's nice.
And that's the UFO based off of this UFO, which I spun on the show when I was over there. But it's cool seeing you on like news channels. You mentioned OAN, you mentioned War Room. I've seen you on there, and it's a whole different you. You're very, you're wearing a suit.
I'm all political, man. You're getting all angry.
but you're very articulate, and you're very knowledgeable about the things that it reminds me of Alex Stein. You know Alex Stein?
Yeah.
Great guy. Incredibly smart and talented. And well, I'm talking about Alex, not you. Well, I already just told you were talented and smart, so I guess
I was thanking you for Alex. I was pretending I was Alex.
Well, you guys, you're basically very similar in that sense, where you guys are very funny. You're very, but you're very politically aware, and when you get serious and you start breaking down, the political landscape, you're very knowledgeable about it, and I love that about. People nowadays, especially someone like you, it's like you got these silly commentary videos, and that's kind of what your Twitter feed mostly is. But I think people may want to see more of your intellect because you are very knowledgeable about this stuff.
Well, I pretend I am, but I just
me too.
Oh yeah. No, I'm grateful because anytime I do those interviews, I'd go back and I'd be like, oh God, you probably sound like a jackass. You tripped on this word, or I'll be like, oh, you should have said this about Pelosi's hairy face, or stuff like that. But I'm so glad
funny.
Because I guess what was funny is I was getting a lot of haters that were coming in going, how come all of a sudden you're political? I said, bro, you're just starting to follow me. Shut up. That's
yeah.
What do you think this whole MAGA crowd is, man? They're all I have a bunch of MAGA followers, patriots, even liberals that aren't really truly liberals. They just kind of want to laugh. And it's crazy because, I just, facts, some people can tell facts from fiction, and so I'm grateful for those people. I even had liberals like complaining, like, man, I'm so sick of Andy Tifa too, and I'm a liberal. And I was like, well, stop voting those idiots in. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't vote them in. I'm like, well, shoot, I don't know what to tell you, man. But thank you for watching my videos. I love
yeah, that's all you can say.
Yeah. So yeah, that's so cool of them. But it's like I try to do these videos to maybe call me demonic or evil, but I try and do it to bring in mainstreamers, people that don't really know the facts, and they don't know anything politically. So I can kind of like show them these videos and hopefully they take a message from it, or they just see it for what it is. Like, it's like when you would watch Three's Company back in the day, there'd be like innuendos of Mr. Furley overhearing somebody talking about, you need to put it in here. And he's really talking about a pipe and everybody thinks he's talking about sex, right. So that's really what it is innuendo. So I hope that those little videos of animals and all that stuff, people can listen to it later and open their mind, because man, that mainstream is just, it's so strong. And I always was warned about it growing up. Like, it's so, like, what is so wrong? They're just having fun. They're making music and rap and talking about bitches and money, and so it's just so ridiculous. And then you grow up and you realize how dirty it really is, the machine of how they try and
Yep.
brainwash you. I just want to see people think for themselves, not be brainwashed to the right or left. Think for yourself, damn it. And I see so
Yes.
many common sense people out there that it makes me happy, because I see them in my comments all the time. They don't understand that brings relief to me. Like, oh, thank God there's normal people like me out there. This is sweet.
Yep.
Sane people, I should say, because it's just, I feel like somebody hit the flux capacitor, or it screwed up the timeline. And here we are. Like, who messed up? Did some transgender literally go on the site, do something? I'm not sure. Like, let's make transgenders rule. And I feel like we're in a weird society, and it's not like I have anything against transgenders. It's just like, stop pushing that shit on everybody else. Do what you want to do. It's, leave me alone. I don't care. Just, what's your name? Okay, that's it. You don't deserve to be called, his and I, but whatever, I just don't even, I don't want to get with that. I don't want to learn that alphabet. I'm sorry. No, neither does anybody else.
Yeah, I was talking to Call about this. Darth Call is one of my co-hosts who joins me regularly. About them, the word they
That,
them.
okay, that,
It's
gotcha.
it's changed. Well, no, there's plenty. There's tree self. There's demon self. I don't even know. I feel like they come up with whatever their facts and feelings are not the same thing, but they are for these people.
Yeah.
But he made a good point. And I would just want to give him credit, even though I have thought this, but he just said this yesterday, so and I'm quoting it, so I'm like, I got to give him credit. All right, Call, he's a smart guy. I got to give it to him. They're taking and changing the language, and English. When you change the language, when you change the history, when you change the things that you don't like, and instill it in others, it's like that's fascism. That's dictators. That's yeah. Well, now I'm adding my own stuff into it, but
But it's
uh,
no, it's true though. It really
yeah,
it's changing your language and the way you think, and you're like, don't try to change the way I think. And the
correct.
second somebody, the reason why I became a Trump supporter, it's not because I think he's a great person. I think what he did in office was wonderful. We needed a boss-like guy to get in there to handle business. We needed an asshole. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
We need assholes to get business done. And I'm one of those kind of assholes. I like to get shit done, Unfortunately,
Honest
right?
assholes.
Honest
Ish.
assholes, right? Honest assholes. So
Right.
that's why, and I think that's a lot of Americans why they voted for Trump. And that's why a lot of the lefties don't realize, because they got caught up in it. But when I realized in 2016, because I was red pilled by my wife, probably 5 years before that, and the reason why I got red
Nice.
pilled is when I saw them trying to take the guns from all the people after Hurricane Katrina. That really started to scare me, that the government comes after your guns. That's a really, really bad thing. And at that age, I had always been a supporter, of gun supporter and all that, even before I owned a gun. I mean, I recently just got a gun probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I've
Mhm.
always been a supporter, because I was like, hey, as long as there's enough guns in America to, defend against tyranny, whatever, that's all I care about. But I was like, you know what? Let's go get one now that I'm in a place where I can. And, but you don't have to necessarily own a gun to be a pro gun guy. That's what I've always been, because I've seen how the government, can take that away from you. But to me, I've always been, just that's it, and that's what red pilled me, and eventually the Trump thing, what got me is because I saw that the news, that's just where that fake media really started to open up, where we knew it was fake, but
Mhm.
he really opened that up to where it was everyday terminology and
They
talk about,
focused on it.
yeah, and that was the best thing he could have done, and that's what opened a lot of people's eyes. They saw it as, I know that these news networks are trying to have me think a certain way, and that freaking offends me, pisses
Yep.
me off. So the more you tell me to like Hillary Clinton, the more I hate her. The more I look at her face, the more she's disgusting she is, And even at that time, I didn't like Hillary Clinton. We all knew she was evil, but and that's why I voted for Trump. But when I saw her, I was like, there's no way that hag is going to become president. She cannot, you know what I mean? With all the evil stuff you've seen that she's done over the years, a lot of conservatives know, a lot of people on the right, but Dems are obviously blind. They don't want to see that. But
Mhm.
that's when I really just started. really fighting back because they were telling me to shut up. And when someone tells me to shut up, that's when I really took the fight and go, you know what? I know what side I'm on. I'm not on the right or the left. I'm just about being an American. And, I just happen to agree a lot more with the stuff on the right than I do on the left. And if, I just have to go with those guys. Hey, maybe one day Democrats will get washed out, cleaned out, and there'll be this whole new revive. But until then, I'm sorry. I've never will vote Democrat ever again because they got nothing, and Obama was the last thing they had. They really tricked us on that guy. I mean, they really got us to that. Hey, we can all change. And everybody was doing the whole Rocky Drago thing. We can all change, and I fell for that crap, and I was young, so it's like, I wasn't like I was 40. I fell for that. And so for people to say that there's racist all across America, look at how many people voted for Obama. Get the hell out of here with that shit. I hate that argument. And now I see it for what it is. I'm like, that son of a bitch got me. You son of a bitch, you got me, man. You got me. You got me in the feels. Oh, you got me in the feels, buddy, but never again.
Well, that's how they do it. They use emotions to get their way. So,
and I see it now. But I just, with all the information out there, you just think to yourself, why is there so many stupid people that just can't realize they're being played, man? And that's just, and I know a lot of Americans feel that, and that's a frustrating part. And that also causes like that anger where you're like, I really don't want to communicate with any lib at that point, but that's not really doing my job by not keeping an open communication line. But when they're constantly trying to shut you down with violence, it's like, I have no time for that. And, if you're going to threaten me, get the hell out of here, man. I know you enjoy my videos, but you know what? Fuck off kindly now, okay? They come back and they'll come back on another account and complain, you bitch, you blocked me, right? And then I literally write back, who's the bitch? The guy bitching about who got blocked coming back on another account to tell me how pissed off they are that I blocked them? Like,
here's the mirror.
Here's the mirror.
There you go.
I don't know. And, the scary, and I'm sure you deal with this all the time, the scariest thing is sometimes you have those supporters that support you so much, and that's great, right? But sometimes they feel like because they support you so much, they can start talking shit to you about your family and stuff. Like, when did I give you a pass to talk shit about my wife or my face or, what? Like, come on, dude. I don't even go.
Wow. I haven't seen that yet. I have arguably the best chat in all of YouTube. And my chat is absolutely amazing. I don't know if people make fun of my face. I don't tend to read chat during interviews.
Sure.
My screen is over here, so I'm looking at your face. Just in case you didn't know that, I'm not, this is my camera. When I look at the camera, it's like that's me addressing chat. And when I'm looking over here, I'm like watching you.
Yeah, I'm watching you from this angle. So we got all kinds of angles covered. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. But my chat is absolutely great. They're so good. You talked about the people that show up for you, and it's like they show up for me. I have some members that have been supporting me for 22 months. Wow. And that's how long I've had my channel.
That's
so like
awesome. But you have a
day ones
amount of followers, man. I that's not easy to do on YouTube. I commend you, brother, because I've tried YouTube. I either get banned or I just give up. And you can't give up. And that's where I really made the mistake, And,
well, they tried. They tried many times. And I thought about giving up a couple times, but I didn't. There's been some days where I'm like, I just don't want to do the show today because I'm not feeling it, and I just did it anyway. And my chat shows up for me. So it's like, if they're going to show up for me, I need to show up for them.
Well, I'm on YouTube, though. I got a small amount of numbers, but it's Steve Inman commentary. That's it. Just Steve Inman commentary. And
let's see if we can bump up your numbers. I'm going to find you real quick and put it in the description below.
Unless I'm shadow banned and you can't find me, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only Steve Inman commentary. They always try and do that. They'll put some Steve Inman and he looks like a Sean Hannity guy, like real estate agent. I'm like, who is this Steve Inman that looks like a Sean Hannity real estate agent? It's so crazy.
All right, I just dropped in the description below. I just added it. So if you guys want to go give him, actually, let me drop it in chat to make it easy. You don't have to refresh the page. There it is. Let's go give him some subs. He definitely deserves more. Both genuine person and intelligent. And that is very hard to find on the internet in this day and age.
I've never heard of that. Not even my wife tells me that. She's like, "You just a loudmouth."
Your wife sounds awesome.
Poor
She's not
lady.
wrong, by the way. She's not
No,
wrong.
she's not wrong. She's not wrong. You know, she's so great. I've been married to my wife almost 20 years now, so we've been together for a long time. She's been there.
Cool.
You know, she married me when I just lost my job from the radio morning show, and I proposed to her in a garage because we were just chilling outside, and I proposed to her, and she married me. So I like, to me, I'm like, if you find a woman that you really love and you
Yeah.
guys have everything's perfect, and if she marries you if you're broke, she really truly loves you and you never have to worry about it again. So get married when you're broke, people.
Propose when you're broke.
Well, the lucky thing is, even at that time, that's when I had faith in God. I was like, God, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I'm getting married, but I feel this is the right thing. And I know that I can do this. Literally, we went and interviewed for a show called For Better or For Worse, where they would pay for your wedding. So they're for people that were deciding to get married. And your friends have a 1 week to plan your wedding on a $5,000 budget. That's it.
Oh, wow.
And they literally rented this castle place out because it was on a weekend that was a holiday. So, no one's getting married that day. So we literally got a discount, I think Santa Fe, California. And they paid for the whole wedding. My best friends were making fools of me. And,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, everything got paid. Like, God will always look out, man. If you don't believe in God, just be a good person, man. Fate will always catch up with you one way or another, man, because that's how I've lived my life. I'm like, I don't know how this happened, but I'm just gonna keep going. And I sound like an after school special, but it's true, people. Like, if you're shadow banned, don't give up, man. That's what they want. They fooled me, man. I was going through some foul ass mood where I'm like, screw everybody. You don't like my shit? Get the hell out of here then. And because I was only getting the sour pusses coming around. I wasn't getting my main supporters that I used to get, where they're like, hey, what up, dude? They'd like drop the lines, of what I'm saying. And that just makes my day to see people say, go kick them in the hot pocket or egg roll.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, how the hell, who are they talking about? Who paid him to say that? Is that my buddy from Corona High? And so when I see that, I mean, as an MMA commentator, not being known for so many years, and knowing a bunch of fighters. So I was like, maybe this is just my place. I'm just the unknown commentator. I get to know all these fighters, and I think it's really cool. I was very blessed. I've met, Snoop Dogg, all these people in radio. So, and Chester Bennington, Lincoln Park. So I come from that era of radio with like the Used and Lincoln Park. So I was on at the time, but I just thought that was my place in life. And then this started happening. And then I left. I remember just posting a video on Twitter, like one of my commentary videos. Let's see what happens. I came back a week later. I had like 10,000 followers, and it was like weird because I was like, that page has been dead for 3 or 4 years, man. Like who shared it? Who caught it? I only had 2 followers.
Wow.
And it's weird.
Well, we almost got you to 4K. Let's see if we can do it. Can we do it? Go subscribe.
No way.
To his YouTube page. I saw it jump. You were. I don't remember what it was.
Subscribers, man. That's you have no idea. That to me is priceless, brother. So thank you. That's a great gift to be able to just put my page out there. So thank you.
Can we get it to 4K? Come on, people. Go give Steve a sub on YouTube. I'm posting his link in chat. I'm refreshing it. I'm watching it. It jumped up a lot. So thank you everyone for going to support this guy. He's a genuine person on the internet, and you know how rare that is these days. Thank you very much, Steve. I just want to say before we get into some super chats, there might be some questions. But everyone, thank you for tuning in. Please, down in the description below, you got his Twitter page, which is where he posts a lot of his videos. He's got his own page where he posts videos that aren't anywhere else, so you can see stuff that is not allowed on other platforms, but it's on his own website, so you can check it out yourself. And then, of course, his what else did I add? There was one more that
Truth Social, maybe.
Yeah, I added your Truth Social. If you're on Truth Social, you can go check it out. He just started a page there, which I mean, it seems to be blowing up. You got the CEO of Truth Social spreading his stuff around, which is awesome.
And let's not forget, I can't forget the other people that have been helping out too. So I apologize if I let
break it down.
Followers. The followers would be like, oh, it helps you, but just every follower. I wish I can say this to each and every one of you, but it's very difficult to do that. But I am so grateful. I've been shadow banned. I can't even. tell you thank you, which sucks. But to all the people on Twitter who kept following and hitting that bell notification, you kept that page alive, because now it's just like we're in shadow ban. I'm hoping the portal will open up soon, Marty. You know what I mean? We'll
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to tweet this out real quick. Give Steve a sub on the YouTube. Let's get him to 5K. You gotta go above because you're almost 4K, but like fuck that. Let's think ahead, you know?
Let's go for 5, man. Let's do it.
Go for 5. And then once we hit 5, well,
and that's the way the page survives, is like interviews like yours and people who have bigger pages. Those are the ones that actually help. So it's not like YouTube will ever help me get followers, you know? So it's just people like you and yourself. So thank you, man. That's priceless.
Yeah. I love seeing people around me do well in life. I like it. I feel if I can help at all, help someone do better in their own life, that feels good. You know, I enjoy feeling that energy, you know. It's like, and I would hope someone feels the same, that helps me get, you know, more successful in this world. So, you know, you put the energy out there, you get it.
YouTube is really the hardest one for me, so that helps, man. You have no idea.
Well, I'm really lucky. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have been on the Timcast show. He helped give me my platform. I was given a really bright spotlight because Tim has been building, you know, Tim Pool, right?
Yeah, Tim's amazing, man. I'm a huge fan of that guy.
Yeah,
I follow all his tweets, actually. Yeah,
I mean, he's been building up a huge following for 10 years in the internet. So for him to bring me on the show, really, people were like, oh shit, this guy's good, we like this guy. I mean, and so you know, when I started my own show, people were like, oh shit, like, all right, we're gonna get more Adam, and you know, so I'm very grateful for Tim and the time he gave me being on that show. He
really is like a pioneer of like that whole independent journalism thing. I mean, he really is. He's a pioneer of getting it out there and getting the news faster than the news organizations, you know. So to me, that guy's he's an American hero. He really is. And he reminds me of me, because he's also a disinfectant guy. He's a disinfectant of liberalism and all that, because I wasn't a full-blown liberal, but the fact that, you know, it was all about Obama, I feel dirty inside. I gotta take a shower like, you know, Pet Detective, you know.
If you're not learning from your mistakes, then they are in fact mistakes. So you didn't make any mistakes.
That's true, man. I'm gonna catch up for that. Yeah.
All right, well, we got some super chats. Let's get into them. St. Miles says, spin that saucer. Great show. Thank you very much, St. Miles. Robert, I saw that you super chatted. I will get to yours. Don't worry. I just have to go to a different page to get said super chat, so I will get it. Thurston Howell III says, I'm suddenly having a craving for Hot Pockets. Great interview, Criggs. Steve is tremendous. His videos give me good vibes during tough times. Thanks. I love that. I see that. I see these, and I'm just like, a lot of people don't realize I can't respond to every message on my message, but I read all those, and I can't tell you, it's like, who paid you to say that? Like, it's so... I feel like I don't deserve it. I don't deserve that much love, but I appreciate that. Like, people take their time to write, and to me, that's like time out of your day. So that's how I see it. Time is money, so I get it. Now I gotta ask: do you like Hot Pockets? Do you have something against Hot Pockets? You know what? I don't. And you know what's funny? I saw Saturday Night Live. Okay, now we all know Jim Gaffigan did the Hot Pocket thing, and I totally give props to him. But I just tend to use it because it's a convenient food, and it just seems like a basement Fortnite video game kind of guy would be doing that. Yeah, you know, with his soy milk. Throw them in the oven or microwave. Who am I kidding? They'd microwave it. You know, I did the Hot Pocket thing one time, and then I don't know, it just stuck with me. But I love using. I saw him on Saturday Night Live. A mom was yelling at some kid in the basement. He's like, Mom, we ran out of Hot Pockets. I was so pissed because I was like, I've been popularizing that for the last 2 years. Don't take that shit from me, all right, man? Jim Gaffigan did it, and it went out of style, and then we kind of brought it back in its own weird way. But now I hear Greg Gutfield say Hot Pocket and Soy Boys and all these guys say more. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm like, can you give a brother some props? Wrong side of the aisle. If you were
Yeah,
on the,
yeah,
if you're on the other side, you would be front and
yeah, yeah,
center.
yeah. We're the peons, you know.
Yep. You'd be on Saturday Night Live, being
Yeah,
that the boy in the basement yelling for hot
yeah,
pockets.
exactly, man.
We got Robert Wiles says, I hope this makes Betty smile and Diana Francisco smile. Be blessed, everyone. Thanks for all the love and kindness. It does help. Crigler Coffee, #1. Yep, it absolutely does. I mean, positive energy on the internet really does help. I mean, it I have to think, though, because negative energy on the internet, I always say, like, you can't let it affect you. You can't, it's as easy as turning the internet off. But it's like it's a two-way street. You kind of have to, if positive energy on the internet affects you, and gives you validation, affirmation for all the things that you're doing on the internet, it's a tough situation because I get a lot of hate. I get a lot of people talking shit about me, talking shit about the stuff that my takes on things, and I take it with a grain of salt, because I have to,
Yeah.
because it's every day, and I don't mind it, um, but
It's a battle, man. That's like the first thing, when you start seeing it climb, and then you start seeing. Yeah, I literally, let me tell you, I was kind of like, I would call myself like liberal feelings, like, because I was getting upset when people were talking shit. Like, how the hell you can talk shit when I'm doing this for free? But then I
yeah,
just realized people are just really shitty, and they that's how they feel better. I get it. That's how they
correct.
do it.
Bringing someone else down.
Yeah, and I try and balance that out, but man, it was affecting me in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I was starting to cuss people out, go fuck your mother, all this shit. Like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm like putting out something to make you laugh, and you're being a little bitch, soy bitch, and I've got to
Hmm.
do this. So like, I would just finally just said, I'm at this point, like, you know what's funny? You should be happy when your haters pop up that you don't know, because it's like, how the hell do you know me? I've never heard of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here you
Right.
are. So it should
Yeah.
feel good in that way. You should take it as like, shit, at least he's heard me. But that's hard to do sometimes. I'm not
True.
gonna lie. You want to
What?
slap the crap out of them and tell them their mother sucks. They're a hooker. They're a prostitute. Go to hell, you son of a.
Well, I
But
guess my point, my point, if I'm going to practice what I preach,
yeah,
right, which is don't, and I was letting the internet affect me, and I talked about this a little earlier. I was, there's this moment that I was down, and it came out on my show, and I was like, I needed to take a step away from the internet, and I needed to really reflect on myself and just kind of really take in my own environment. I bought this house. It's my first house that I've owned in my life, and I
yeah,
freaking love it so much. I
bro,
love
I'm
my
right there
property.
with you too. Yes, yes, amen.
It feels amazing, and I took a break from the internet. I have really been taking a break from the internet. Like, I have not watched as much news, read as much and as many articles as I was doing daily. I was just ingesting news, and it was just like really depressing me. And I'm like, man, I needed to. And even so, all right. Let me just, to sum up what I'm trying to say is, I needed to just do me. I needed to remember that I'm the one who ultimately is in control of my happiness
Feelings, how you're
levels,
gonna
or
feel.
my
Yeah,
feel, yeah, how I'm feeling. So as much as I love positive energy coming from the internet, it shouldn't uh, be what is required to keep me happy,
sure.
right? As a internet, like, or you, right? As a YouTuber, as someone who goes online as a profession now, I needed to remember that even the positive energy shouldn't be my driving focus.
Shouldn't be
Uh,
overshadowed. Yeah, no, and I feel that because you feel hypocritical about it too. You're like, here I am
right?
bagging snowflakes, and I'm being a snowflake, being affected by these snowflakes, yet I'm falling into their trap. They're winning, and I'm having a shitty day because of this guy.
Yeah,
And so I said, also with them, the good days when you get nothing but compliments, you're right. That should never overshadow. You just keep doing it. And that's what I realized. It's just like, it's become kind of a 9 to 5. You're like, all right, let's check the messages. Who came in today? All right, blah, blah. It becomes sort of like this practice to where you still love it. You still love doing it. And I've never been in that position before. I've always worked from home. Like, literally, I've always been a guy from working from home as a video editor, and then going out for the shows is the only time I really.
yeah,
But like, I feel that, when you start your first job, it's weird, it's new, and it doesn't even feel like job. Now it's become routine where I take pride in it, and it's not, and it doesn't affect my day, because it's like, I don't care what that guy says. Who cares? What else? That's
yeah.
at least he's here. But dude, the first 6 months, I didn't know how to control like how pissed off I was. Like, why would you talk shit?
Yeah.
I'm making you laugh, but then you realize, like, why do I even have to ask that question? Who cares? He's an asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
I do have a
cares?
question I want to ask before we finish these super chats. Are you in some sort of man cave right now? Is this
This
like
is
the pit where everything ends up?
this is actually my studio. It's so dirty right now, but I've got
Hold on, let me blow it up. There we go.
yeah, this is my studio.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. I see it
Yeah,
now.
I've got the Apple boxes back here to cover up most of my garbage, and then I got the arcade back
Are
there.
those pinball machines?
Yeah, I've got one virtual pinball machine that
Awesome.
I've turned it into a PC, so now you can play like higher res graphics on it. So I have
Cool.
a PC in there, and then I'm converting it to a RoboCop machine because I love RoboCop.
That
So
was a good pinball machine.
yes,
Pinball
yes.
game. I played
So
that one.
so I got the decals that I'm coming in, and I'm like, I'm converting this full blown. I'll buy that for $1 RoboCop. You know what I mean?
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not video.
I love pinball. I'm a
I
sucker
don't
for
like new
pinball.
games. I like the old school, like Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat. You know,
Yep.
these new games, like
Terminator 2.
yeah,
That's my favorite one.
that's a good one.
So good. I had a friend who owned a pinball store / skate shop in New
Those
York.
so expensive.
It was a skate shop and a pinball store. And then he opened a bar in Brooklyn, and he closed the skate shop because it was too expensive. The rent in New York it's crazy trying to start a business or
Oh, yeah.
just keep a store in Manhattan.
Mhm.
But he started a bar and he moved all his pinball machines. Now it's in Brooklyn. Oh man, I don't remember the spin. No, what is the name of that bar? Man, it's gonna bug me. Anyway, it's in Williamsburg. It's dope. It's a pinball bar. You can drink while you play pinball.
I like
It's a good
it's
time.
yeah, I come from the old school where I like real pinball machines. So for years,
Yeah,
I've wanted
real.
a pinball machine, but then I thought about it with these whole virtual machines. I don't like it any better because I like, old school. But
Yeah,
now
you
I'm just
feel
like,
it.
yeah, you could feel it. Yeah. But with this, I was like, well, do I really want to repair the pinball machine? Do I know how to repair a pinball machine? Because that's all you hear about is
True. I
screwing
know.
the machines up. So then I realized I'm not going to be that Uncle Joey from Full House. I'll spend it on a virtual machine. That pinball episode, that's always stuck in my mind. Don't get one. You'll be like Uncle Joey or Jesse when he wasted his money and
Yeah.
stupid Bob
Is
Saget.
it
Rest in peace, brother.
is it yeah, rest in peace. I agree. Is it as satisfying though, a virtual one? I mean,
It is,
it
because
is?
it's
Okay.
fun. You still have the buttons on there. It's not the real thing, but it's if the graphics are good enough and you kind of like it's kind of like Beyond the Magic Eye or whatever you look at it, the long enough it becomes real. I don't know if that's from hallucinations when you're looking at a screen too long, but
Well,
it
if it had like haptic feedback like
yes,
system in it that would like
they do.
buzz and shift
Yeah,
and do
yeah, they actually have those
Hmm,
now, and they also have the sensor where you shake it, so you can tilt it when you shake it, literally.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's
so they
cool.
got that stuff, but nothing's like feeling that metal ball go.
Yeah, I know. The feeling of the
Yes, I miss
man.
those days totally,
I
man.
miss it too. I've always wanted a pinball machine as well. Well, I grew up. My grandfather was best friends with Python.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
do you, so you know old school games. So
Old
you
school.
know the name. You know Python games.
Yep.
The Python pinball machines. So he's one of the great pinball makers. So he had like an original Python pinball machine in my grandparents' house. Like every
I
time I
can't
would go over
believe
there,
I
I'd
can't
be playing. Dude, I'd be playing pinball all the time. It was
on an
amazing for
antique
free.
machine on a
On a
machine that was probably worth like 40 grand, 50
shit,
grand,
it
man.
was probably worth a lot. I met him a couple times before. Man, I think did he die of cancer or something? Or I don't remember what happened to him, but
I love
uh,
pinball, man. If you ever get a chance, watch pinball history. If you're a geek like me, I love the concept that it's been around so long, but it's so timeless. How is such a simple machine still fascinating? Like it's
yeah.
fascinating. It's like it goes in the hole and it comes out another one. That sounds gross, but you know what I'm saying. The hell am I talking about here? Well, shoot.
What a great way to get back into super chats.
Yeah. Woo! All right.
Uh, True Jello says for $10. Thank you very much. True Jello says, well, since election cycle is winding up, I'm expecting a lot more awesome commentary to hit my feed. Steve,
You
you
got
are amazing. Thank you for giving me gun of laughs. Maybe
a gun of laughs. A ton.
A ton of laughs. That must be what it was. It must have
It
been a
might be a
typo.
Patriot thing, like a gun of laughs, like bow, 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 you know?
No, it's gonna, like, I'm
Oh,
gonna.
gonna.
So,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure it's a ton of laughs.
Ton of laughs.
Because wait, T and G are right next to each other. Yeah, it's definitely a ton of laughs. That's what I'm just I'm editing your super chat to try to make it correct.
She's
Oh,
punching her phone right now, going, "You guys shut up.
hold
Stop
on.
talking about me."
The very next super chat is a correction from True Jello. It says ton of laughs. Nailed it. Nailed
Yeah.
it. I got it. I edited it correctly.
Brother, you've got a
Awesome.
degree in communications. You're amazing. Bachelor's degree.
Boom.
Woo!
True Jello again says, "Are either of you also on Rumble or Locals?" I am on Locals. I do have a Rumble. I have not been very good about posting stuff on there though.
It's a little difficult, Rumble too. I'm on there, but I don't know how to upload. You have to go to something else to upload, and it was just I
Yeah,
don't know
and
if it's changed.
you
Yeah,
can't edit your stuff after it's up too. So like I can't add thumbnails. It just
yeah.
it's not as intuitive as I would like it to be.
Hopefully one day. Hopefully they figure it out, man. I mean,
All of my videos are over on Odyssey. They're automatically uploaded over to Odyssey. I tried to get that set up with Rumble, but then instead Rumble automatically opened or uploaded my stuff to YouTube, which freaked me out because I did a welcome to my Rumble page where I talk of my video is basically me saying all the stuff I'm not supposed to say on YouTube, and it automatically uploaded on YouTube. I'm like, oh shit! Don't look at it, YouTube. No, delete. And I deleted it real quick, and luckily I didn't get in
I
trouble
did
or
that
anything.
today on True Social, man. I was thanking everybody on Facebook. I was like,
Mhm.
oops. Say Facebook. Oh, that video's outdated, you know.
Oh, that's funny. Oops.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
This ain't Facebook.
Robot says, if you saw the stuff I did as a kid, you too would lose your shit. I had sword fights with my fake leg. LOL. Be blessed, Adam, and guest and chat. Thank you, Robert Wiles. Yeah, he has a fake leg, and he called it the leg of doom. Now it's the oh shit. What did he call it?
Leg of Doom. I love it.
What did you call it? He actually sent the leg of doom to another one of my co-hosts, Quarter Black Garrett, and it was lost in the mail. Sadly, I think someone took it because they thought it was so cool. That's what
awesome.
that's what I'm just gonna
So
say.
did he use his leg as the sword? Fake leg as a sword?
Yeah,
That's
he took
crazy.
it's
That's
pretty great,
awesome.
right?
That's so gangster.
I mean, if I had a fake leg, I would want it decked out with some like cool shit. I'd have, pockets and like little sections
I'd
with like
Thanos it
a
out
whole
and put it on here and just start punching people. It'd be awesome.
nice. This is actually a super chat from my mom.
Wow.
My mom just super chatted. She said, "Awesome, you got clean. I'm 17 months with no booze. My head is so much clearer. You've got a great voice. Thank you for your insight tonight." Well, he quit cigarettes. I don't know what his drinking situation is, but
No,
uh,
I don't,
but it
I've
was
never been a drinker ever. I just
okay. Never were a drinker
occasionally I'll
anyway.
have a beer, but it gives me a headache and I pass out, so it's not really fun. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. So you're not even a drinker anyway, but
Not really,
uh,
yeah. Thank you.
Mr.
That's awesome. That's great to hear, man. That's not easy to do, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, alcohol is one of the toughest ones too. So
yeah.
congratulations. That is great.
I
That
know.
is
I'm really proud of my mom
so
for quitting alcohol. It's fantastic, and she really has felt more clear than ever in my entire life. It's awesome.
17 months that's a long time. So that's
Yep.
great. That's one.
Really proud of her. You know what, Mom? I'm gonna give you a spin. This one's just for you. Everyone else, close your eyes. You too, Steve. Close your eyes. No one's allowed to look. This is specifically only for my mom. Mom, I love you. The spin is for you. All right, everyone else you can open your eyes now. Everyone can open your eyes. You can look. It was just the initial spin.
My eyes
Just,
are already open. I'm just Asian. I get it. You know, I'm just kidding.
you can make that joke.
Yes.
I can't touch it. I can't touch it. Mr. Squiggles, here we go. Mr. Squiggles, day one right here, celebrating 22 months as a member. Wow. Mr. Squiggles, you get a bell. This is an antique hotel bell that someone sent to me.
That's creepy.
Whenever anyone sends me celebrates being a member or becomes a member, they get the ding of the bell. It's creepy? Why is it creepy? It's awesome.
No, the sound, I think it reminds me of like The Shining or something. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Or
Let's not go
zombie
there.
Orville.
It's a positive bell, all right? It's
If it
positive.
is a positive bell, I'm sorry. I totally turned that negative.
Nope. Here comes the Crigler show.
It's positive. It's positive.
Washington Post put out an article telling the world my show is extreme. It's an
What?
extreme, yeah, because it's a place where people can go and vent about um, a certain election, or not even that. It was it's just that I was basically spouting misinformation, even though all the things that I was talking about has proven to be true. Every single thing.
You know what? It's not even about misinformation. It's they hate you, man, because they know that you have. They know that you're giving out information, and they're jealous. They're like, how come we don't get that love on Twitter? You notice
Yeah,
these big news organizations, they don't get any love at all. People are like, screw you. You know what I
it's
mean? They only
true.
get like 10 or 20 likes. You're like, you're the Washington Post and you've got 3 million followers. I've only got 70,000 followers or whatever, right? And
Hmm.
outdoing these guys, and I'm even shadow banned. You know what I mean? So to me, it's all bullshit. It's that's why I said, I went on Truth Social because I was like, I just want to go on a level playing field where there's no right or left bullshit. I don't want advantages. And
Yep.
I just want a play field so people, if they do see it, they'll reach.
Meritocracy.
That's it.
Meritocracy.
I
Let's
just
bring it back.
Yes, I want to know that I got there. You know what I mean? I help, I want that competitive nature, but nobody wants to be competitive. It's like I went there because I want to see what I can really do without somebody putting a thumb down on my post. That's all I want to
But
see.
but Steve, that's not equality. I'm sorry, equity. Equity. Yeah, I meant equity. That's
I know what you meant. Hey, I'm trying
man.
to use my Asian privilege card, but it hasn't worked yet. They just try and ask me for math equations. I'm like, bro, I may be Asian, but I suck at math, right? That the other half, I'm sorry, Caucasian people, but the other half, my Caucasian side has like ruined that. So yeah.
Hey, I'm good at math. I'm proud of this. My math teacher sucked in high school. I sucked. I would figure out ways to figure out a problem better than the way that they were teaching it. And I know they're not, you're not supposed to do that. They teach you, this is how it's done. This is the only way to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but that's takes a lot longer. There's so many more steps. If you just did it this way, you get the answer much quicker and it works. Like every single time I've tried it, it works. So like, that's what I do now. And it works. So like I would get in trouble, and some people, the teacher was trying to explain how to do a certain math thing. I do not remember what it was, but she sucked at explaining it. So I would go around and be like, yeah, let me explain it to you. And I'd be like explaining. The teacher got so mad at me. And then one student was like, why? He's good at explaining it. And like another student was defending me teaching them something when the teacher was upset that I was teaching it better than she was. And I was like, this is awesome. Like that was one of my best high school moments right there.
That would have probably been the closest form to her trying to indoctrinate you into her way of thinking. And
True.
the crazy thing is now is that was back then that would have been like something like now, but now it's like the indoctrination of these children, man, are ridiculous. Like I remember I asked my teacher back in the like, who did you vote for when Bush and Reagan, I think it was Bush, the first Bush, Bush Senior
Okay.
was running. I said, who did you vote for? And he basically looked at me and said, I voted for Abraham Lincoln. And we just would, just being sarcastic, obviously
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln dead. I
Yeah.
even told somebody that they're like, Abraham Lincoln's dead. I go, I get it. The guy was being sarcastic.
Duh.
Yes, I was trying to pay homage to this teacher to let him know that, remember when teachers are very well reserved about their politics and not
And
really
they should be that way.
should be just
I
math.
agree.
That's it, man. Teach them the branches of government, not the freaking politics involved in it. Let them get an
Yes.
education of that. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Damn it, man. I'm sick of it. That's why I pulled my kids out. I've been homeschooling my kids since kindergarten because I was in Cali. And yeah, they've always gone homeschool. And what's funny
Bravo.
is they indoctrinate the parents' thought logical thinking too. They try and make you feel like, oh, your kids aren't going to be around people. Blah, blah. Bullshit. My kids are in MMA.
You are people.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they're around adults. They're not around people that are trying to influence them to drugs, spray paint, be liberal, mental disorder. But, and so that's why I took my kids out of school, because even 3 or 4, I know everybody's talking about it now, but 5 years ago in Cali, I was taking them out because that transgender thing was coming in. Like they want to teach kids about it. I go, you don't even teach kids about sex till 6th grade. Even that's a little young. And now you want to teach my kids about transgenders in kindergarten. I don't even want them knowing about sex at all until I feel like
Right.
telling them about it, or if they have any questions, even
Yeah.
that's going to be awkward, but it shouldn't be up to the
It's
teacher.
your job.
It's my job, man, and it's an
Yep.
awkward job. I don't want to do it, but I don't want somebody else doing it. And that's when I took my kids out. But it's funny where you have guys like Joe Rogan talking about it now. I'm like, where were you 5 years ago, bro? Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm like, bro, we were talking about this 5 years ago, and now people are, everybody knew about it, but now it's hitting the mainstream. It should have got way more coverage years ago, because now it's just a cluster F. But now I'm just like, all these people are talking about it. It's like, this has been going on, but I'm just glad I got my kids out. And I know some parents can't teach their kids at home. I get that, but just monitor what they're learning. Ask them what the teacher told them today. Because,
Yes.
man, some teachers deserve a little talking. They deserve a talking from the parents. And
I agree.
I hate
100%.
that they label them as terrorists just because they have a problem with their weird ideologies. It's strange. Whatever.
Well, it's the opposite. That ideology is creeping into the government, and to the fact that they're labeling the parents domestic terrorists. Like that's fucked up. Like,
yeah, that made me mad.
And
what was good news is that disinformation board recently too. That kind of that relieved me to see that wench go. I don't care. Can I just say it? She looks like a bitch. She is a bitch.
You know what? Ad hominem, whatever she looks like Quentin Tarantino's like ugly cousin.
The crazy chick in a closet, and I
it's
couldn't
on hold.
they
didn't stop it. They
didn't disavow it yet. It's still going.
No, they just put it on hold. They're like, we're just gonna put this on hold for 75 days. And it's like, right. So you're gonna just put it on hold and you're gonna slip it into some bill, or you're gonna just like quietly implement it. It's gonna happen. They need that. They need it because they are losing their grasp on the narrative. They're losing their grasp on people's minds.
This is what makes me mad. Like, if the midterms go the way we want them, if I don't see any Republicans fighting for that crap, like we need to call those people out. I don't care what side you're on.
Yep.
I hate when people get mad at me for calling out people on the right when it's like, but they are. There's Lindsey Graham. You can't get mad at me for calling that guy out who's always trying to sell freaking books. You're not pissed off that he's always trying to sell books and not sell. Well, if we're going to solve the problem, make sure you turn to page 54. But before you do that, you got to buy my book and then you got to watch my podcast. Like, I just want to slap the shit out of that guy. Just sorry. It makes me mad, dude. You're not doing anything about it. And you just ongoing on, and I hate being lied to, and Americans are sick of it, but call those guys out, man. That's our job
I do. I definitely do. Whenever I can.
Amen. It's not like everybody has to be on the same damn side. It's like, I hate when people do that. They're like, well, we can't be wrong. I said, then you're just as guilty as a damn Democrat, dude. Stop that crap, call it out so we look more legit anyways, like integrity. That's the party I want to go with, man. Not like any other party has it, but it's just I tend to like choose integrity over bullshit, and I think most people do. So I just
it's a good way to be. It's a good way to be. My mom super chats again. Mom, all right, thank you. She says, Steve, I would love to have a conversation with you. Your energy is infectious.
That's the energy drinks.
It's all bang, baby. It's all bang.
Yeah.
Are you double fisting over there? What's going on?
I was.
You're like, I got to be ready for this Crigler show, man.
This is my yin and my yang, and I'm not affiliated with them. I just love energy drinks. They should sponsor me though. Damn it. I could implement their names into some of these commentaries, and a big bang,
Well, on that note, I want to send you some of my coffee. So do me a favor, give me your address. I'll send and go to criglercoffee.com. It's really easy. Just my last name, coffee.com, and pick a blend, and I'll send you a coffee in a mug.
I saw that coffee and I was like, is that a sponsor? But it's you, and that's even cooler, brother. I like that.
It's awesome. Roasted. It's roasted after you order it, so it's the freshest coffee you can buy out there. You can't get fresher coffee. And it's absolutely delicious. Anytime I run out, I'm like, oh no, I'm out of coffee.
Since you're you do this, I've got a question. This has been a question floating around in my head about coffee.
Okay.
Is the medium brew actually stronger than the dark brew when it comes to caffeine and waking you up? Somebody tried to have a conversation. They said, no, the lighter, the better. And I don't believe that doesn't taste as strong. Is that true?
I mean,
the lighter the blend or the color.
I've found that, it's all about how you brew it.
Gotcha.
I think light and dark coffee can be, because I've had really strong light coffee. I've had really strong dark roast coffee.
It's just
If you brew it strong, you can get a lot of caffeine packed in, then, but it becomes mud. It becomes more muddy.
Texas
But
tea.
I have heard that light coffee is the like light roast is stronger.
Okay, so okay, good. Somebody was I heard it from an older guy, so I was like, I'm not gonna call him a liar, but now that I got the coffee expert here, I want to hear from
I'm no
you.
coffee expert. I also want to
You're
say
more of an
that
expert than I am because I know how to drink it. That's about it.
I do know a little bit. Yeah, the lighter, I think the more like the darker the roast, it kind of like it yeah, it gets rid of the caffeine. I'm not an expert actually, so like, but this is just kind of like what I've heard throughout the grape. Basically, when I started my coffee company, I just got all the different kind of beans that they had, and I was like, let me make some lists, and then I tried a bunch of different blends, and I was like, I really like this one, I didn't like this one, I like this one, and I kind of that's how I created the blend. So now I have a couple different coffees, some light coffee. I have a lot of dark coffees, a lot of medium, only one light blend. What is my
You
light
know, the
blend?
side glands right now in my mouth are like salivating, dude. That's how much I drink coffee. It's like
Oh,
it's
really?
life. It's my life. Me and my wife, everything's about coffee. Like when we like, did you put water back in the thing? Is the water okay? Like it's so important in this house.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I can't wait, man. She's gonna be excited too. That's great.
yeah. So I have a couple light roasts. Costa Rican Terrazzo is light to medium.
Cool.
Kofifi is the
Oh,
medium roast.
I'm going for that one, dude.
I got a Kofifi blend. That's medium. Yep. Then I got the Yirgacheffe is a very different flavor, but that's a light roast. I
Mm,
got a Peruvian. Um, That's a medium roast. I got the Catalyst blend, which is the name of the board that I designed for Arbor skateboards when I was riding for them. And
damn.
I got the Gamers blend, and then the Skitcher espresso, and then of course the decaf is the fake news blend.
Damn, bro, you got me salivating. Like people salivate over steaks. I literally salivate over coffee. Like I feel like kind of like that nicotine, like I'm like, oh, I need that coffee now.
Well, go
Triple
as soon as
fisted.
we're done. Just head on over there and send me what you want. All right, he is only, man. You are so close, guys. He's only 30 subs away from 4,000.
Let's
This
do this. Let's
can
do
we get it?
this.
Can we get 30 people to go sub to his channel? I don't know if you've already subbed over there. I'm gonna
If you
drop
want
it
to
in.
laugh, come to my page. I promise. We that's all I do there.
So close. Let me see. I'm gonna retweet my tweet of telling people to go subscribe to you and see if we can do it before the end of the show. Let's see here. King Deplorables. Wow, one of my mods just super chatted, and he starts by saying, I don't do supers." It's true. Did you hear the surprise in my voice when
Yeah,
I saw your name in the
that was
supers?
genuine, bro.
But the value you've brought to many of us is immeasurable. No amount of money or fame can compare. Also, best chat ever. I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's talking about both of us. All right. I don't know if
I
it's
just
me.
thought
I
you
don't know if
talk.
it's you.
I was like, I'm not gonna shake my head because then I'm gonna be caught up again. Like I was talking about this guy, not you, Inman. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get caught up in that shit again, dude. Sorry.
No. We'll spread it. I'm not
We'll
sure.
split it. Let's split it down the middle, bro. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you, King. I appreciate you, mate. Bobby Bob says Senate blocked a 48 billion aid package for small businesses because it would add to inflation, but they sent 40 billion to Ukraine. America last. I
No,
I do not have
let's.
the time
Uh,
to go into all of this.
you looked at the clock real quick, man.
Bobby, I am exhausted by what these people in charge do with my money and your money and Steve's money, and it's our money. And it's not their money, but they act like it, and they
Yeah.
think they're so morally superior to all of us that they know what's best for us and what to do with our tax money. And they can all go fuck themselves. Let's see. True Jello says, give Viva a shout. He simultaneously streams on YouTube and Rumble. Awesome. I actually know someone who works at Rumble who has reached out to me, and I'm going to be working with them to try to help me figure all that out. Quesadilla comes in hot with a 10. Says, Inman, as a Korean, what do you think about the Beanie Babies impersonations of Korean? Did you have to watch Korean groups fight off each other like I had to with Mexican gangs here in South Cali?
Oh my God. You know what? My kids are I wouldn't have known about Beanie Boos unless I had kids. And you know what? I started thinking, are my kids crazy? Are they the only ones playing with Beanie Boos? Is this like, because you just don't know. How did these kids find this stuff? But my kids have children's YouTube and stuff, so they're gonna catch on to this kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy stuff to think about. But you know what? In California, I'm not surprised, man. That place is just a junkyard now. It's sad because I got a lot of people,
Yeah,
a lot of Republicans out there that I feel really bad for. So I hate when people say you get what you vote in. Well, there's a group of people out there like myself that didn't vote that garbage in and they're
exactly.
suffering. But heart goes out to Venice Beach, most of all. Holy cow, that place is that's just like watching RoboCop. You know what I mean? It's like going
Oh,
through
yeah.
it. I feel like there's going to be a television set somewhere where somebody goes, "I'll buy that for $1." Creepy.
That statement, though, that you just said is really important because I hear that a lot. You get what you voted for,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's such a cop out. That's such a smack in the face
Yeah.
because this country isn't a democracy, right? It's not. It's yes, who gets the most votes in a specific way wins, but there's always going to be people. I know Republicans that live in California that
Yeah.
I feel horrible for
Yeah.
because California is going down the shitter, and I love California.
Yeah.
I s- I I love the beauty of California, the landscape of California, and specific people in California. When I say I love California, I don't want to say I don't want to stop loving California because of some shitholes, shit people are
You love
running it right
California, but
now.
you don't love the liberal policies, and people need to understand that. That's not
Thank you.
fair. I hate
Correct.
I hate
Correct. Exactly. Well said. But that attitude where people are like, "Well, you get what you voted for." That is that
smart
is
ass. Just
yeah,
unnecessary.
it's smart ass, it's condescending. It only furthers the divide. It only pushes people further away. So if you're trying to convince someone to maybe think logically, think about the facts, realize that they need to do their own research, think for themselves. When you come at them and be like, "Well, you get what you voted for," even if they were in teetering on the edge, they're like, "Well, fuck you. I don't join your side. You're an asshole." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just
I know that feeling. I hate it because I love Cali. I love the culture. I love the people. I love that I grew up with Hispanic people. I grew up with Asian people. I grew up with a lot. You don't get that sometimes in certain places, and Cali was the best place. But,
Mm.
that's why you'll hear me always saying, he's throwing putazos and all this stuff, man, because I grew up around cholos, man. I grew
What
up
is a
around
putazo?
putazos is like a slang, in cholo slang is what they call it. But
Okay.
putazos is like ready to throw hands. You know what I mean? You want to throw some hands, so
Okay.
putazos has always been one of my favorite words. And then I just said, you know what? Let me see how many people are going to catch on. So you always go, oh my God, he said putazos. And that's my shout out to people to let them know, man. I grew up in Cali, man. You can't take that away from me. And you can call me white and call me Asian and all this all you want, but man, I am Mexican. I am white. I'm everything I'm a product of Cali, but luckily I didn't come out brainwashed just a little bit.
So
Uh,
the best parts of Cali then, honestly,
yeah, that's why I
right?
miss Cali. I mean, I'm sorry, but Cali is the only place that can make a taco, and I don't like Del Taco. Cali's the only place that has real Chinese food. You know what I mean?
I gotta say, I lived in Tucson, Arizona for a long time, or
Okay, yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah,
randomly throughout my life.
yeah.
They make a good taco. All
Yes,
right.
New
Like,
Mexico too. They got the green chilies, man. You
well,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
along the southern border, that tend to
Yeah,
be a little
yeah,
wide. There's a lot of Mexicans
yeah.
that are in that area for some reason.
Also,
I
I
can't
like
explain
the
it.
street tacos, like the chopped carne asada. That's my style of tacos. So
Okay. All right. I dig it. I dig it.
good stuff.
We got a couple more. Says where quesadilla again says, Adam, I could use some help still. I went to pick up a medication and it costs $500 with insurance. I
Uh,
still have a GoFundMe and Give Send Go accounts. Uh, are you gonna give me more information? I can't give you a shout out without any of that. Like, what is the name of it? He continues. He says, I have some good news. It appears I cured my own diabetes. What? Today, the MD said it's gone and he could take away those diabetes meds. Wow. That is amazing. Oh, I don't know where Steve went. He sent me an email. Chell of the Sea just said, okay, cool. I will see. I wonder where Steve went. He must have just lost. But hey, that is amazing news, man. I can't even believe that is so incredible. All right, there he is.
Sorry about that. I got cut out.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, I was just that was the last super chat. David, really congratulations for curing your own diabetes. That's incredible. That I've actually heard of that happening before. That's very cool. Let me just refresh this page real quick. 3.99. My goodness, can we get like 10 people to go give a sub over to Steve's channel really quick
Don't make
before
me
we
call
end?
my mom to be that follower, okay, guys? Please don't make me call my mom. I don't want her following me.
I'm gonna have him call his mother.
I want your mom to follow, so that's cool. You know what I mean?
She probably already subbed. She was
Okay,
probably
cool. Awesome.
right at the beginning. She was probably like, "Oh, I'll definitely go give him a
Yes.
sub." So go give him a sub if you guys can. We need like 10 people, probably less than 10 people. 3.99 is just right on the edge. Oh, we're so close. I'm gonna go. I gotta. Ooh, it just started dumping outside. I hear the rain. I love that sound though. It sounds awesome. Anyway, I'm assuming that you're going to hit 4K in the next 30 minutes. Okay.
We should. Absolutely.
And you deserve way more, Steve.
Thank
Your energy is great. Like my mom said, it's infectious, and the world needs more people like you.
Thank you so much, man. Just likewise too, man. I've been watching all your stuff, and for
Thank
you
you.
doing this, man, on YouTube is awesome, man. I see all the reactions and the interactions you get, man. They really love you, dude. So I'm glad to be a part of this lovely show. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Well,
it.
anytime you want to come back, you know, when you finish your studio, you should come back and show it off. And
Yes, I will have the mics hooked up so I won't sound like I'm in a bathroom. You know what I mean? I promise
yeah.
I'll give you quality next time, bro. I promise. I'm not sending you my very best, as Trump once said.
Hey, like a good marriage starts when you're broke.
Yes,
so.
that's right. Yeah, a good marriage starts when you're broke. Amen.
So,
Thank you, man.
It was a pleasure to have you on. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Please go give him a follow and check out his YouTube channel, which now has 4K subs. We did it. Yes.
Just in time. Right when you closed it out, bro. That's a great punch. Right, you hit the post, bro. That was awesome.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Steve, until next time, you have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining.
You too. Thank you, man.
All right. Good night, everyone. I'll see y'all next time.